What is up everybody, Scratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. In this video we're gonna talk about the Reflex Set and how it became one of the most powerful sets in the entire game for PvE when used on the right champion. So for whoever watched the video when we covered the new team presets, the AI fix, etc. I gave you a preview on the Reflex Set, how good it's gonna become and how good the Callheart on the Reflex Set is gonna be, etc. So this is kind of like a follow-up for that video. But before we move over into the main topic, guys, if you enjoy the content, if you like the channel, if you like what you see, if you like the information, I would greatly appreciate it if you drop that subscribe, guys. Drop a like when you watch a video, will actually help a lot for the channel to grow. But jumping into the main subject, guys, Reflex Set can be used on a lot of different champions. Now it all depends what exactly we want to do with those specific champions. So at the moment I have a Callheart on a Reflex Set. I feel like honestly out of all the champions she will have the biggest impact on a Reflex Set. The reason for it, they added the new dungeons, right? They added the new stages, they added the Doom Tower. All these bosses, they have different passives where enemy max HP is not as efficient as before. Now even if you're on lower levels, for example, if you're still doing stage 20 on dungeons where enemy max HP has a very big impact. If you don't have the best savage gear, if you don't have a cruel gear, crit damage gear, Reflex Set can actually help your Callheart to use her A3 way more often. And you can literally just block the A2. Now, all this comes hand in hand with the AI fixture, for example. It's not gonna work without it. So you do have to make a use of both of them. So I'm just gonna quickly find that Callheart to show it to you guys. Honestly, enemy max HP at the moment is only 10% of the target's HP, max HP, right? So it's not gonna be a huge difference no matter what sort of stats you're gonna have on the champion. Honestly, you can have 200 crit damage and you're still gonna make the 400k only, or 300k, whatever a Callheart hits on Spider stage 25, for example. It's not as important anymore to have insane crit damage, have a savage sets, have this, have that. Honestly, because of the new passives on the boss, that doesn't make a difference anymore. So this is my Callheart on Reflex Set. For whoever is not familiar with the Reflex Set, because yeah, it didn't really got to be used too much. A lot of people were running Reflex Set on Battle Khazar, but I feel like now a lot of champions will actually benefit from this set. It's a 4-set piece, 40% chance to reduce a random skill cooldown. So basically, you're gonna have a 40% chance to use the skill you want more often. So what exactly we did with this Callheart? We put on the AI fixture to never use this skill, because this skill is pretty useless on what we needed. I used to run Callhearts, double Callheart on Fire Knight 20. That used to be like my fastest team, and there, yeah, I needed them to use this AoE as well, but now I literally just want Callheart to use the Heartseeker as many times as possible. So total stats on her, we still have pretty strong stats on her, don't get me wrong, but honestly 200 crit damage will do the same damage that we're doing with this Callheart right now, because the damage is capped at 10%, so it won't make a big difference. Masteries, I do have Giant Slayer on her actually, because I used to run her on the Fire Knight. So even with Giant Slayer, instead of Helm Smasher or Flawless Execution, is still gonna do the same damage. Now probably if you don't do stage 25 on the Fire Knight, you don't really care about that, don't give her Giant Slayer. I honestly even forgot that she had a Giant Slayer. But for example, let's just take her in for a spin in the Spider. So here we're mainly gonna focus more on the Spider dungeon, guys. You know, the fastest team is with the Cisia for this, right? So I have my team right here. I'm actually using Callheart this time around because with the team setup now and the AI fixture, I do have the chance of using him and start with the A2 rather than A3. So that's going to give me a benefit. I can use him with the same build I have without having to make him the slowest in the team. So I made this skill to be the opening one. Callhearts, I've put them not to use the A2, right? Both of them, they're the same. I haven't changed anything on him. And on Tyrant, I put him not to use his A3, because again, I don't care about it. So if I want to make it even faster, right, I can put this champion on a Reflex Set as well. I can put Callheart or a Renegade on Reflex Set and have them to don't use a specific skill. Now with Callheart, I kind of want him to use the A2, But if would be to use a Renegade instead of Callheart, which we're gonna get to that in a second, I could block the same on Renegade the A2 with this right here and make her use only the A3 and on a Reflex Set, pretty much almost every turn we'll get a decreased cooldown by one, so we'll get to use reset skills more often as well. So check out this team, for example. I just love the new team presets and the AI fixture. This is awesome thing. It's been announced like 2 years ago. It finally came, but I honestly love that. So we got one resisted there, which is fine. Callheart, you see, actually 700k damage, so we dealt a bit of damage. Okay. And you see just Heartseeker, Heartseeker, Heartseeker. Like, what else you want? Isn't that amazing to be able to do that now? And one of them has the Reflex Set. Whenever she gets a turn, we do get a decreased cooldown. Let's see. Okay, we didn't got it there. But maybe we got it now or no. But there we go. Either way, 38 seconds. Bang. Spiders then stage 25. Let's give it another go. This is not just talking about Reflex Sets, guys. It is pretty cool to have this this new feature in the game, honestly. But let's see it a bit in more action. So we got one turn there. Okay. Okay. Decreased cooldown. We got a decreased cooldown. And the accessory dropped in as well. Another Heartseeker. And we beat the best time so far for my Spider team. 30 seconds. So all that decreased cooldown on Spider will be pretty badass. Now, of course, you haven't been able to see it at full potential because the team went so fast. But for example, let's just kind of create a different team. So go to team setup right here and let's start a new one. So again, we're gonna have to add Tyrant in here. We're not gonna bring in Callheart because that's kind of gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, to say like this. We're actually gonna bring in a Sir Nicholas to protect our Callheart. We wanna see her in full action. I'm not even gonna bring a Renegade in, honestly. So, where is Tyrant? Tyrant, there we go. And Akak. Again, Reflex Set on a Mordecai would be amazing. Block his A2, make use only of his A3s on a 4-turn cooldown. Ignatius, if that's why we have 4 HP burn, guys. You don't want him to use the A2. We have a long cooldown on the A3. Reflex Set on him as well and decrease the cooldown of his A3. Is so much potential in that set at the moment, honestly. Super good. Now, let me find a Callheart as well. So, this is my Callheart on a Reflex Set. This one doesn't have a Reflex Set. So, I'm not even sure. Should we use that? Should we not use that? Okay, let's go double Callheart. No Renegade. And let's just see a bit the difference, right? So, I'm going to have to fix the AI, of course. So, on him, I really don't want him to use this. Even though it doesn't really make a difference because he's not on a Reflex Set. I just don't want that ally protection on my team. So, this one right here, again, do not use, okay? This one as well, do not use. Sweet. Now, let's take them in for a spin and see how this team is gonna perform overall. Okay. So, first turn, of course, we don't have any of the skills on cooldown. So, we're not gonna see any difference. But as soon as they're gonna take another turn, we're gonna be able to see that. So, I'm gonna put it on slow-mo, just decrease cooldown. There we go, we got one already. So, that brought us to a 3-turn cooldown with the A3. Are we getting another one? Okay, we haven't got one this time around, which is fine. Give me that shield, Sir Nick. Give me that shield. Okay, landed a HP burn. Give me the freeze as well. Throw them balls, Akak. Heartseeker into it. The other one, she's still waiting. So, I think we got the decreased cooldown once only, if I've seen it right. We're about to find out now with the next Callheart what skill she's gonna use. If she's gonna get a chance. Yeah, so we got it decreased 1 turn. 1 minute and 15 seconds, double Callheart. HP burn, is still not a bad time for stage 25, guys, right? So I really feel like that's kind of like the next thing. And it's not only for this right here, for Spider 25. A lot of champions can benefit out of it, right? I'm gonna show you the build that I have on my champions at the moment. So that's my Sir Nicholas right here. He's the fastest in the team. These are his total stats. Just for whoever is curious to recreate the team I just showed you guys, 30 seconds. Pretty good team, right? If you don't have a CCA Flame Tongue. If you're unlucky, as I was on the 10x, you're in the right place. So we have a Sir Nick. Now, he's not necessarily needed for the first team. I don't think we actually used him. But I'm just showing you the champions we have right here. So the next one will be Tyrant. He's on a regen set and an immortal. He's not too fast, actually. I dropped the speed a bit on him because I found that he was using his HP burn too often. Total stats. Masteries, I actually don't have support. I have a defense 3 on masteries. So that's him. Now, talking about Ignatius, guys, and Reflex Set. If we lock this skill right here, we're gonna be able to bring the turn to Ash on a lower cooldown, right? This is on a 5-turn cooldown. It's a very long cooldown. It is pretty annoying when you're using him in the Spider. So this would be actually awesome. If you don't use a Chimar next to it, of course, will be awesome to have him on a Reflex Set. He will have a great benefit overall from it. Then we use Chimar. This is my Chimar that I'm just generally running for arena and stuff. So probably you don't need such a crazy Chimar for the Spider. But now, that's the idea. I don't need to get a third Chimar, right? Because I can use him for the same purpose I would use a third one. But rather than make him go last super slow, I can make him go first and open the skills with the A2. Great thing to the game. Like, probably a lot of you guys are like, well, these guys, all the content creators are overhyping all this AI fixture and team presets. But guys, they're so good, honestly. But this is a thing that's supposed to be in the game ages ago, not just now, you know? So, yeah, we are happy because we finally got it, but it kind of supposed to be in for a while. Then, what else we had? We had Akak right here. He's a bit slower than Tyrant, actually. But he's on a curing set. This is my only champion that I have on curing set, guys, by the way. And no masteries. So I'm still missing a 5% chance to go there. But Mordecai on a Reflex Set, for example. Block this skill right here. We don't really need it for the Spider. It's not going to make a huge difference. And then get this into it. Of course, it will make a difference for the lower stages if you don't have champions to tank for you, right? So it will help you a bit, don't get me wrong. But if you want to have this more often, Reflex Set on this champion is great. He doesn't need to do damage. He just needs accuracy and a bit of survivability, right? So that's super amazing on a Reflex Set. Block the A2 for Oro and go straight to that skill. Spider, for example. Man, this would be huge for this long-term cooldown that he has right here. You know, I actually used to have him on a Reflex Set anyway, but now I can actually knock this down if I don't need the skill, the attack down, and literally just focus on this defense down and weaken. Again, it's going to be great change for him as well. And my Callheart. So what we're going to test, guys. So this is my normal Callheart on Savage, right? These are like her total stats, just so you guys can have an idea, because we're going to try to see a damage difference on stage 20. The damage difference is going to be pretty big, so don't get me wrong on it. You're going to see a very substantial difference in damage just because we do have Ham Smasher on her, right? And we have a Savage Set as well, and a Cruel on top of it. And this is the Reflex Callheart. Just as an idea, let's see how big is the damage difference. Probably it's going to be a good million, but we will be getting to use this skill more often, more turn meter decrease as well. It's going to be better for the Fire Knight as well, because we're only going to have A1 on the Fire Knight, and we're going to have the A3, so that's quickly going to ramp up overall her potential, you know. But yeah, he's going to be pretty crazy as well to put him on a Reflex. Imagine this, just placing Unkillable on himself on and on and on. This is just to troll people and make the AI to don't use this skill. Like, so many things you could actually do with the Reflex Set now, guys. Let's take them in for a spin on stage 20 on Spider, guys, and see how are they gonna perform like back to back with each other. A lot of you guys don't have Savage. A lot of you guys don't want to farm stage 20 anymore. They want to up in ranks to get better gear overall, right? So it's perfectly fine. So on the high stages, Reflex Set is much better than on stage 20. Here, of course, if you're rocking, for example, Savage is much better. 1 million damage almost from the Savage one, and we got 700k from the other one. Now, I can guarantee you on the Savage one, we haven't procced Helm Smasher. While on the other one, we actually procced a Giant Slayer hit, right? Because she's not on Helm Smasher at the moment, and it's no point really to change it. I can tell you the damage difference in between Helm Smasher and no Helm Smasher is around 150 to 200k on a Spider 20. And that's like at a minimum. So do we get to actually use that A3 again on that Callheart? Actually even let it go on slow-mo here. Just because I wanted to see if we decrease the cooldown, but then I've been talking too much, you know? Okay, let's see. Yeah, and we got a Heartseeker. The other one, she's still sleepy a bit there. And we got it down, actually. So we actually dealt a bit more damage. Of course, that one she went to sleep, but she still wouldn't have had her A3 on cooldown. So that's on Spider 20, guys. Now, of course, if you have 2 Callhearts, 3 Callhearts, you have Savage Gear for stage 20 downwards, yeah. If you want to do the higher stages, Savage Gear, how I said, is not efficient anymore. So Reflex Set is going to be like the key for faster times, right? Taking it on the Fire Knight. Now here as well, even on the high stage, I'm still using that Callheart, right? So I could actually just give it a go and see what exactly is going to happen here. I could make that Seer start directly with the right things. I could put Seer on Reflex here, block the A2 and keep only the A3. And I'm using her without a Chimera, so that as well might help all my team to run a bit faster on here. But let me make this team setup here quick, because I don't have it ready. What are we running? We're running a Duchess there, right? So we have Duchess, we have Lydia. I hope I do have Lydia out here and not in the vault. Yes, so we have her just there. Then we have Allure. Again, we can block Allure to use the A3, A2 now and focus only the A1, which again, it makes her even better for the Fire Knight, especially for the boss. So actually, I could make a much faster team now with Chimera and be reliable 100%. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do once I finish this video, guys. 100%. Blink, blink. That's how the ideas come. So we got the Callheart right here, and we were looking for Sia, right? She was like the last key of the puzzle here. And she is... Where is she? Where is she? There we go. So let's stick that team. And we're gonna change the AI on Callheart. We actually don't want to use the A2 here, okay? We have Seer, so we're fine. Even though for the second wave, it would be good to have it. Actually, not opener. Don't use. Let's just put that don't use. Seer, we're gonna let it go with the flow this time around because we haven't prepped the team, but that's something that I'm gonna work after the video, how I said. So we have that Callheart on Reflex. Let's see. How much of a difference is actually gonna make on the boss? But with Allure, I'll definitely be blocking the A3 and A2 afterwards. A Seer on Reflex might not be able to kill all these waves unless she has like loads of buffs on it, you know. So that might be a bit of a oof with Seer. You might still require to have pretty high stats, like decreased cooldown on Callheart right there. Now on Seer, I have around 220, 230 crit damage on Savage at the moment, right? So that is not bad at all. Now, probably on a Reflex, I would need around 280, 290 crit damage and still be able to clap all the enemies here. She doesn't need the attack, right? So that's the good part about Seer. Okay, let's see. Are we gonna get to use that A3 more often on Callheart? So we start directly with that, decrease a bit the turn meter. We got the refresh accessory in play. We have defense down and weaken again. That's not going to make a difference on the Heartseeker. It's only 269k per hit, right? That's why I have Giant Slayer on her. Using the A1 more often on a Callheart, we're actually going to ramp up more damage on the Fire Knight. And we only have the A3 available, which is going to be on a 4-turn cooldown with a reflex, knocking down to a 3-turn cooldown, 2-turn cooldown, maybe, just maybe. If it's possible to get there, actually. I'm not even sure. But let's see, are we getting a better time? 8-3, there we go, beautiful. Beautiful. So now, I'm not beating my best time that I've got, but hey, we tried. Anyway, that best time was not made with this team. So, Giant Slayer, we got a 42k extra hit on there. Let it proc, cause why not? I am running Giant Slayer on Allure as well. Those are like the best masters you could run on these champions at the moment. And again, Heartseeker, guys. So, Reflex Set, creme de la creme, 2021 with a new patch, guys. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of the new changes? How much you loving it so far? What do you think of Reflex Set, guys? How many of you guys are going to change champions on Reflex Sets from here on? I do appreciate all of you guys watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe for more content, turn on notifications to see when we upload next, and I'll see you all soon on another video. Till then, peace out.